Last night when we had our community meeting, I said the same words. Romumu, our community, is still a physical and emotional community. We are rooted on this land. We are rooted in this neighborhood, where this community once started with Rabbi David Ingber and a drum. You've heard that story. One person with a drum, then eventually in his living room, and the community grew. And then right there in that corner was the first place where they had the bima in this building. And the community grew. And we looked across the street at our neighbor and we said, could we be with you? And so across the street we went. And for so many years, Romumu was at West End Presbyterian. So that if you had a simcha, you would make your invitations so that it reads, come to the bar bat mitzvah, the mitzvah of my child at West End Presbyterian. And I keep saying this, that we are still physical and emotional because I need to find feeling again. Our country, we have been buffered and bludgeoned. And in times like this, what else can you say? There are no words. Words have been exhausted. So I look back to the middle of the book of Leviticus. We're at the end. We're at the end, right? Tomorrow we will raise the Torah and say, Chazak, Chazak, maybe be strong, be strengthened. But I need to look back. Look back at Leviticus 23, where it says, Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, b'chodesh ha-shevi'i b'echad lachodesh yihye lachem Shabbaton zichron teruah mikra kodesh. Speak to the Israelites in that 7th month, on that first day of the month, you shall observe a complete rest. Here we are. A sacred occasion commemorated with loud blasts. Blasts, sounds that will rend the air, be called teruah. These loud blasts are to commemorate sacred fixed times. The sirens that go up and down, that go up Amsterdam to the hospitals, are some of those fixed sounds of our neighborhood. So we've heard a lot of sounds to action, a lot of calls to action. A loud blast we've heard, but there is also, can I find the sound of a tekiah? A simple, straightforward blast. To the rabbis, to our sages, this was emblematic of the tzaddikim, of the righteous ones, the hidden ones who would come out, who have a clean slate. They say they've lived their lives based on goodness, kindness, and caring for others. But instead, I hear shivarim, like 3 broken sounds. Troah, that big sound, has been drowned by the broken, sobbing nation. That is our nation. The broken, sobbing, you and me, instead of that clean, clear sound of tekiah. There is sobbing and moaning, sobbing and moaning, sobbing and moaning. I don't drive, something I'm not very proud of, but I try to imagine how far it would be from here to Buffalo. I'm trying to imagine how far it is from here to Uvalde, how far it is from here all the way to Laguna Woods. And from all those places and in between, as President Joe Biden had said, there is just brokenness. And he cited, I'm sure with the help of his speechwriters, Tehillim, Psalm 34, verse 19. It says, Karov ladonai lenishverei lev. That the Holy One, blessed be, is near, is so karov, close to the brokenhearted. Be'et dakei ruach Yoshia. And that Lord, that Holy One, that divine presence saves those who are crushed, who are pummeled and fragmented in spirit. So I want to say, like, oh, speech writers, you just scroll back a little bit, before that verse. What about this? Verse 13 that says, Mi ha'ish, and I'm going to add, Mi ha'ish, mi ha'isha, hechafetz chayim. Who is the person, who is the being who is eager for life? Like, let's go past the broken first, before that. Who is the one who is eager for life? The child, the retiree, the one who's shopping to make a meal? Who is the one who desires years of good fortune? Mi ha'ish, mi ha'isha, oheb yamim lir'ot tov. Like, who wants to see and be in goodness? The verse continues, the answer to that, therefore, guard your tongue from evil. Netzor leshoncha mera. And keep your lips away from deceitful speech. Usfatecha medaber mirma. That word mirma, they say deceitful speech. For me, it's like murmuring, right? Murmuring, innuendos, and toxic information that's permeated our world, our worlds. And it continues, sur mera, like in Surah, yeah, we say on Hanukkah, sur, shun that which is evil. Ose shalom, right? Like ya'asetov, right? That we were singing again and again. Ya'asetov, do good. Bakesh shalom, like find, seek peace, seek amity, and chase after it. Beradfehu. So the well-meaning speechwriters landed on the brokenhearted and the promise that they will be saved. How many of you, like me, have scrolled for more clarification, some ease, some posts there that might ease my pain? And so I got this from the Sephardic Jewish Brotherhood of America, a Ladino quote of the week, the one that I received today. It says, si la paz no existe, se pasa la vida triste. If there's no peace, there is sadness in life. There's sadness in life doesn't quite catch the spirit of se pasa la vida triste. Like your life just passes away in sadness. And I'm excited to share this with you because it was written also in Hebrew. I promise you, the word peace, paz, was spelled as Pe Aleph Zayin. And the word vida was spelled as Vav Yod Daled Hey. Because such is Ladino. Do I bring this because I have a chance to bring it in, or because Uvalde is Latino? It's a community of Latinos, Latinx Americans, and people that live close to the border? Is it an excuse to say, oh, in Jewish community, we too can embrace them because you know what? We have Ladino. We are Romemu. We are a community. We are a physical and emotional community of siblings, family, and friends to the right, to the left of you, above and below. We are 372 miles south of Buffalo driving, and we are 2,813 driving miles from here to Laguna Wood in California, where there too are siblings and community, family, and friends. Our Jewish life elevated, that is the way that we describe Romemu, is part of this country. This land which has attracted stragglers, dreamers, would-be second, third, fourth chancers. Our commonality, as my mother would say, right, always say, what would your mom say? Was that she said, as a physician, when anyone is on the operating table, we all bleed. We, in our human frailty, are connected, and we, in our human frailty, cannot withstand an AR-15 style rifle. We, in our human frailty, cannot withstand a Bushmaster XM-15. So just hours after this day of the counting of the Omer, where we have been observing Yesod Sheba Yesod, Yesod being the foundation. So our foundation is the ground on which we stand. Our foundation is us. That's it. Who do we have but us? So I want to hold on to the sweetness of Yesod Sheba Yesod. Rav Nachman of Breslov was saying, what is the Yesod? And he says that, oh, that is the one that is in the prophet Micah's exhortation to us to go and walk modestly in the ways of God. He said that Yesod is likened to the walls of the sukkah, right? Where two are longer and one is shorter. And that is our Yesod, that is our foundation, and there is an opening. But this foundation that we have, our community, our country, is shaking at the moment, is teetering. Maybe it's the hand of a shopper who just pulled into a parking lot. A woman of color who will say, okay, I'm going in. Am I gonna be okay? It is us who are teetering and shaking. Maybe a retiree out in Laguna Woods, part of that community or that network of communities where there was a Taiwanese church, and a visitor speaking also Taiwanese had come in, and they welcomed him in. And lo and behold, of course they'd welcome him in. His outfit said security, and then he closed the door. Retirees that are teetering on hope that is being shaken, children, families. We need the blast of the shofar. A blast of the shofar to commemorate 10? Is that it? The blast of the shofar to commemorate that one person who was killed in Laguna Woods? Should it be 19 blasts? Is there a mystery to these numbers? Or perhaps there is no mystery. How about 50? Steve Kerr, the basketball coach, who interrupted his own briefing in between games, said, 50. Let us focus on 50. There are 50 senators who refuse to vote on H.R. 8, which is just a background check a rule that the House already passed a couple of years ago. Should it be 90 blasts? 90 blasts so that we can be awakened? Well, 90% of Americans, regardless of political affiliation, want these background checks. 50 blasts to wake up these senators who are holding our country hostage, who refuse to put this law even into a vote, despite what the American people want. Lo dayenu, it's not enough. That's it. We're done. But here we are in Jewish community, and we keep looking for our scriptures. What do we have? What do we say in Jewish community? And here it is clear. The Rambam writes that not only Jews, not only our people, nor the resident aliens that live amongst us, the Gerei Toshav, even for non-Jews, our sages commanded that we are to visit their sick, bury their dead as one would bury the dead of our own people, support the poor among the poor of other people for the sake of peace. Mipnei dachei shalom. We look to our scriptures and say, what can we learn? How can we react to what's happening right now? It says the eternal is good to all and loving to all beings. And again, tomorrow we will say the ways of Torah are the ways of pleasantness, and all of its paths are peace. 1 blast, 10 blasts, 19 blasts, 50 blasts, 90 blasts. I'll hold on to hope. Hope as a discipline. The artist Monica Trinidad said that what people often get wrong about hope, this that we're doing here, coming here to pray, this is hope. Otherwise, we'd all be just hidden in a heap somewhere. Monica Trinidad says, what people often get wrong about hope as a discipline is that it's not about passivity. It isn't about sitting and wishing that things will be different tomorrow. It's about believing in the power of yourself, your people, your crew, your communities, and never backing down. And we hold on to a hope that should be a different kind of hope. Yes, we are a praying community. This community is a praying community, unabashedly, unashamedly, without shame. This is a community that is physically and emotionally drawn to prayer. We cannot back down. Is it 1? Is it 10? Is it 20? Is it 19? Is it 50? Is it 90? We will not back down. I'll say it again. Romemu, this community that I've served for the last 4 years, is still a physical and emotional community that is in a neighborhood with a church, our colleagues for so many years. A school right back there, a grade school and a middle school, a playground where adults and young people cavort. And happy are we that we have radiated from this nexus, from that corner where this community started in this building, and we've radiated to the rest of the world. So we'll come and pray, yes? We'll come and pray. This all makes sense, coming here to pray. It's about believing in the power of yourself, your people, your crew, my crew right there, your communities, my crew, and never backing down. We rise, it is upon us, on your shoulder, shoulder to shoulder, everyone on Zoom, shoulder to shoulder. That's it. Who do we got? We have us. Remember, the 1, the 10, the 19, the 50, and the 90, we rise.